What are we jamming on now, Jay? What are you jamming on now?
Oh man, I got a few. First of all, as you see behind me, if you're watching on the video,
Yes, this looks like a goddamn. I don't know. I can't think of the word. Like a fucking fucked up amalgamation of something like 19 mid to late 90s amalgamation of fucking every like weird but popular IP possible.
so the correct answer is Mortal Kombat 11, and yeah, one of the DLCs, actually two different DLCs and like expansion packs, give you access to random characters like Spawn, the Joker, the Terminator, Rambo, a couple others. Like it's pretty crazy. But like the game itself, like so it's fun if you like those characters.
Who the fuck are the bookends here? Who are these dudes?
I'm like Shang Tsung, I think, is on the left, and then on the right, I don't know his name. He's a character from like Mortal Kombat 10 or one of the previous ones.
Oh, so they're Mortal Kombat guy. I thought I was trying to find a movie or something. Like I was thinking the guy on the left could be the dude from Commando.
I see Terminator right if I meant.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, they're fun like for just, PvP type matches to throw in a random fun IP character from your childhood. So yeah, that's fun. But I beat the main story a long time ago. It was great. I played Mortal Kombat 10. I've always been a fan of that series. And I've even dipped my toe into the PvP aspect, but a bunch of other games came out after that, so I kind of just stopped playing it. No big deal. However, during, again, one of those sales, I essentially got all the extra characters and the DLC, like, for a deep discount, like something like 80% off or something, so I paid virtually nothing. And I forgot that I had done this, and so they were sitting there on the back end. I was looking at my Xbox, and I was like, wait, I never downloaded these, so I completely forgot about it, and yeah, it's fun because I wanted to continue the main storyline when I beat it originally because it was so fun. So yeah, I started playing that again.
What can the fucking storyline of Mortal Kombat be,
dude? I'm not gonna spoil it, but like if you're familiar with the lore of Mortal Kombat, kind of like the different realms and battles that happen. But like this one has a different aspect where time is involved, and so like one of the main characters, who's always been in Mortal Kombat since the beginning, becomes basically like Raiden God status, like through the story, and so it's very unique. It's done cinematically, well done. Obviously, you have battles in there. It's Mortal Kombat, but I think the story is actually really good. So highly recommend. It's more than just the shock value of ripping your guts out anymore. That's definitely there too, but it's not the thing, I would say.
Word.
So yeah, and then still rolling with NBA 2K22, man. The Seattle Surge continued their romp through the My Team Domination mode led by Prime Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lakers LeBron, Scottie Pippen.
Are you watching that? Did you start watching that show on HBO?
Which show?
There's Adam McKay is the creator, directing it as well. A show about the start of like the 80s Lakers.
No. I heard really of it good. Though.
I thought Adam McKay, going into it. I mean, it's the director of Vice and fucking The Big Short and Don't Look Up. Fucking him and his editor are like god. They are filmmaking gods as far as like they have no regard for like straight line narrative. They just they're so fucking creative in the way they do their filmmaking, but that like I don't know, it's almost like had the potential of like a licensed property to me, like really? The Lakers thing, like it could be very, I don't know, I was a little about it, kind of, I don't know, am I gonna like this or not? And it's John C. Reilly's the fucking lead in it, and that alone should have been like enough, like shut the fuck up and just watch it, but it's fucking good. It's really fucking good.
It's definitely on my list.
I watched the first 3 episodes are out, and I watched them all, and like I couldn't fall asleep. I was up to like 3 a.m. the one night watching the whole thing.
Okay, all right.
Release, so it's very good.
High praise. High praise. Yeah, so
Kareem's in it.
What's
my point? Kareem's in it is my point. Kareem's like one of the main characters in it. So
really,
that's what made me think of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, got a lot of love for Kareem. I mean, he dominates on my team. He's freaking. It feels like he's like 7'5", even though I know he's not that tall. Like within the game, he's just like blocking people's shots out of the air, just like taking the ball midair. Like, nope, we're going.
He had that '80s skinny too, like so a
Yeah.
7-footer. A 7-footer started in the '90s was a very different looking human being than a 7-footer in the '80s and before. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a different kind of body composition, so they look wiry, more wiry, and therefore taller. Yeah.
Yeah. But yep, still playing with that. And then Cyberpunk 2077, man. I know I mentioned it briefly in our chat, I think a couple weeks ago. But they got me with the 5-hour trial. It was a free trial on Xbox, and I knew how much of a dumpster fire it was before. I'm like, let me just try it out, because I don't know much about this Cyberpunk genre. Like, I know it had a terrible launch, but let me just check it out. It's free. But man, I was curious, but great strategy of properly finishing a game, releasing the trial, and putting it on sale for like $20. I bought it afterwards. I was like, all right. 10 hours later, I was in, and I was like, yep, give it to me. The only reason I'm not further into it is the same reason that I'm never further into anything, is because of the kids. Like, it's clearly a mature adult type of game. There's all kind of stuff in there. There's no way I can play it with the kids awake. So unless I'm willing to just stay up late each night to play it, it's like, so it's on the back burner. Unfortunately,
is it worse than a Fallout or?
Worse? It's in different ways. Yeah, I mean, it's just the language. Like, I don't know if it's worse. It's just different. Like, there's no. I'm not willing to have those discussions with my children right now. You know what I mean? And they're just cursing throughout all the dialogue.
It's funny that is. I don't know. From the as a non-parent, I hear the initial inclination to not play with them around is like, I'm doing the, I don't know, like my proper parental thing. And then like when you start speaking open and honestly, you're like, I just don't want to have to talk about it. I don't want to explain it to him.
Well, because I mean, it still is like also violent and gory, and there's sex and like, you know what I mean? It's just all the mature stuff. Like I'm not talking to my 3-year-old or my 7, you know what I mean? Like, we're just, yeah. But yeah, other than that, like, it's good. So when I can actually get away and play it, I'm into that. And then
doesn't that have some sort of like online fucking component to it or something? Isn't it kind of
no? They talked about it, but I don't think there's an actual co-op aspect to it. But if there is, I haven't found it.
Okay, word.
But yeah, man. And then Among Us, of all games. I don't know. Have you ever played it?
I don't even know what it is.
So Among Us was a super popular like mobile casual game a couple years ago. And like it was very popular with like I think a YouTuber or somebody played it, and because they mentioned it, everybody else found out about this small indie game and it just kind of blew up. It came to Game Pass, and so because the kids all love it, like my daughter's always talked about it because her friends are playing it at school. It came to Game Pass. We're like, all right, let's try it, and it's really fun, man. It's like the whole. I mean, I'm sure pretty much everybody else, most people know what it is by now, but the whole concept is that you're on a spaceship, and there's
don't give our listenership any more credit than you would give me as far as like being on board with a current trend with some sort of child video game.
Well, no. I mean, it's popular with the kids now, but I feel like it was just wildly popular, like 2 years ago. Like everybody knew about it, but it's kind of died off, but still is a thing that people play. So, but we hadn't played it yet. And yeah, so I played it with my daughter, and the whole premise again is like you're 7 to 15 players, you're on a spaceship, and you have these tasks you have to do. You're going around the spaceship, you're fixing things, you're in electrical, you're cooking meals, whatever the tasks are, you're doing them. But 1 or I think up to 3 people is an imposter, and they're actively trying to sabotage everybody else. So they're pretending to work.
Sounds cool. Yeah.
They're like killing people along the way, and so once a death happens, everybody gets together and tries to like piece, like, who did you see? What happened? Like, did anybody see anything? And so it's funny because like a lot of lingo has come out of the game. So the word sus means like it's short for suspect, but it's something that they use in that game. Like, oh, Gentleman JB was sus. He was just kind of moving back and forth. He was sus. I don't know what he was at. It didn't seem like he was actually doing anything, And they just use like the short language, like so and so is sus, and it's become a thing that she says like all the time, just in every day. So it's like, all right, you're using this word all the time. We got to play this game. But it's fun, man. I highly recommend it. You definitely have to be playing on different consoles, different phones, different systems, so that you can't see what other people are doing. Yeah, it's fun. It's a really fun game.
And is it like, I don't know, is it almost like Walkabout in the way it does it have like this like a quick pair thing for playing with people outside of your own local network, or however you want to describe it?
Yeah, I mean, you could just jump into private matches and like kind of like Demio, where you just give people a code like, hey, and like people can all join, or you can do like a public where it's just like, hey, I'm just going to join one, and there's all kind of like there's different ships you can choose, also kind of like Demio, where like different boards, like different levels, like, all right, I'm going to choose between these levels with these kind of parameters, and there's little additions and tweaks you can make where, hey, people have different roles, like there's a scientist and he has the ability to turn everything off and on to try to like catch the imposter or something like that, just different modifications you can do to make the game even more fun.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I like the sound of that a lot, actually.
Yeah. So time to make use of that Game Pass membership and jump into one.
It lapsed.
Oh no! You're killing me, Smalls.
Well, we'll get to it here. But I reached the end goal with Game Pass and was able to move on in life to bigger and better things. It was great.
Yeah,
I could not
finish the game.
I couldn't believe how well it timed out.
Sure, say more. Let's go.
Okay. Well, yes. The thing, the final frontier, if you will, of my Game Pass membership and Xbox playership was Outer Wilds, and yes, I had been playing it since our last recording, almost nonstop, and just Jay, so much discovery. There was so much discovery. The game, and I mean, the possibility exists for recency bias, sure, but I feel very good about saying that this game is the greatest caveman video game flat screen digital experience I've ever had, and I am saying that, yes, better than Subnautica. Real fucking talk, Jay.
What? You?
Yes. And
is there have body snatchers taking you over? Like, blink if you're in trouble. Like, what's going on?
I am battling with the idea, Jay, that this might be the single greatest piece of storytelling and world building I've ever experienced in any medium. And I mean that written, film, game, anything.
Hold on. What?
Fucking, it's, dude, it's, I mean, I don't know. I'm already fucking tearing up.
Whoa.
Well, I'll get in, and I'll talk about kind of like how I've coped with finishing it and having it out of my life after I guess I get through this. So, all right. Now, while playing the game, obviously can't play it 24 hours a day. So numerous times after I really got going in it and got hot and heavy into it, and it really started to fucking hit me and get it. And there's a lot of little things. I can't even, that's the hardest thing. If you start Googling videos of this game, like there is so many of them that are like so focused on the spoiler aspect, like that this is not a spoiler video or it is. And like anyone who, if you're watching it, if you don't know whether you want to play this game and you start Googling videos and I found one video that the guy did this at the top and I was like, and this was after I beat it and I still was like, this guy is a fucking asshole. Like basically if you start watching the video and the guy's like, okay, we're crossing a spoiler gate, or there are spoilers or whatever, if they tell you like this guy, the one I'm referring to, was just like, he's like, it's a spoiler thing, like I think you should go play the game, but if you don't want to do that and you want to keep watching, go ahead. Like anyone who says that and would even like consider not standing in your way of ruining this experience in your fucking life is a fucking cunt, dude. Like, fuck them, die in a ditch. Like, take this away from someone, the opportunity to experience this game the way the creator intended you to experience it is, to me, just, there is, I can't think of a worse thing to do that doesn't include bodily harm on a human being. Like, it is an incredible experience. And like if you Google, like, there are documentaries about the making of it, and you kind of see how it was such a gradual development thing. I mean, it took them years, and like this game started, dude, as the creator in college had all these like little just little development projects, like a little lunar lander, a crude lunar lander thing, and then he built this campfire thing. And like when he started to put, like, he made all these cool little things that he liked, and then at some point or another decided to kind of conjoin them in a way and then build a game around it. So like, just from like at its very core, it started as this very, very nurtured little, I care so much about this project in college, kind of like just my little projects thing, you know. And there's just so much care and thought and fucking, I don't just care, man. Like it's everything that artistic, like it's everything art is supposed to be. It's like, it's a fucking perfect piece of human expression. It's fucking unbelievable, dude. It's an unfucking believable thing. Like, not even, I hate calling it a game, because it's more than a game. It's fucking, like, I would be out doing other shit and have this game start to creep into my fucking consciousness, and I would tear up not playing the game. Just thinking about the emotional impact that it has on me would make me tear up just doing other shit out in the world while I was playing the game, you know? Or while I was in the middle of playing the game. And yeah, dude, I mean, it's oddly, when you playing it, was less emotional a lot of the time, because when you're in it, the science and discovery aspects of it are so fucking fascinating and well done, and you are so curious to know more at all times that, you know, the emotional stuff doesn't maybe hit you as hard. I mean, there are still, and I'll get to, there are moments, of course, the final run of it in particular, where it was like incredibly emotional. For me, anyways. I think a lot of people, based on the stuff I've gathered out in the world of people talking about this that I've consumed after finishing it. But yeah, while playing, a lot of times you're like so like engrossed and like, I need to know the next thing, and there's this time loop component of it, so you're like in this time crunch. So you don't have time to sit and like let it hit you. You have to like, I gotta get all the information I can get on this time run, because I'm gonna get fucking, it's gonna loop, and I'm gonna fucking, I gotta make sure I get all this stuff because it was hard as fuck to get here. You know what I mean? So like, you can't allow yourself to slow down and let it hit you at times because of just the mode of gameplay. But in general, it is a very emotional game, I would say. But yeah, man, it's like, this is the way I would put it. And like, you know, I've watched so many of these videos, the non-spoiler ones before I finished it, and now that I finished it, ones with spoilers. And like, everyone's trying to like, you know, they all say, like I text Jab almost daily. I'm like, have you played the full game and beat it yet? Because every day you spend of your life without having experienced this in its entirety, the way that the creators intended, you are robbing yourself of, because like, once you have that experience and that emotional thing in you, like, I think you will be a better human being the rest of your life. That's how fucking big of a fucking game, and how big of an idea I think this game is built around. It is a, see, all these videos, like they're all trying to like pinpoint why it hit them so hard, and like why after completing it, and I totally fucking relate to what they're saying in this regard. Like, once it's gone, like, you clearly you can't ever get it back, because it's a game all about discovery. There's no replay value to this game at all, other than just being in the world, which is I mean, I can see just enjoying that. And there's even a mod I found. Someone made a mod for a multiplayer version of it, so which is really cool, I think, and it almost makes me want to play it more. But in any event, like, I think the reason it hits so fucking hard is the game, the story, is this really fantastic commentary on man or any organism place in the universe, and the insignificance and shortness of humankind's time in the grand scheme of the universe, and like the inevitability of something like even as relatively small to the universe as an individual star's life cycle, which is, I don't think that's too spoiler to say that. Like, that's what the reason you're in a time loop is because the star explodes, So you're in this 20-minute time loop, and at the end of the time loop, the fucking sun explodes. So you're trying to figure out, you're reliving these 20 minutes, these final 20 minutes of this star system, and you're trying to figure out something. You don't even know what. And like, it gives you that's why I'm sure one of the reasons I like it so much is it's so very Subnautica, and that just drops you in, and like, I don't know, you get one objective in the very beginning of this very, very small objective that just gets you going and able to go out and explore. And then after that, it's like, you do whatever the fuck you want. We're not telling you a fucking thing. Go figure it out, And that, to me, is just beautiful and what true open world game design is supposed to be about. And if you have a list of fucking objectives, it's not open world. You're in a linear fucking track that some asshole is trying to put you into. And this, it just says go. Just go and check it out. But yeah, it's the inevitability of something as small as an individual star's life cycle. Even that is in the grand scheme of everything meaningless. An entire fucking solar system, and it drives that home and internalizes that in you. And like, I think if everyone thought and grasped that insignificance better and more, I think everyone on this fucking planet would be a better human being. And like, that's a heavy shit, I know, and I'm fucking tearing up thinking about it. Like, damn. In this game, it's a fucking video game, dude, and it fucking, I don't know, I do not know how you can finish this game and not cry, dude. I really don't.
Oh, dude,
I fucking cry, man. It is so fucking good, dude. It is so good.
Dang,
yeah, dude. When I finished the game, dude, I bawled. I sat in fucking on this couch and I fucking bawled, dude. It is so fucking good. And then I downloaded the DLC, which fucking isn't on Game Pass. Another example, fuck Game Pass. I had to pay for that, but whatever. I actually felt good giving the creators money directly, downloading it. And the DLC is fucking breathtaking and brilliant and incredible. And they did so much. They like the core mechanic of the game in the original, in the base game, is this one really, I mean, I don't know. It's like, you can't say it because you can't even explain something that simple, because I spent so much of the game not getting that was such an important part of it. And that's why it took me so long to really get going, is the simple, most basic thing maybe in that game, I did not think to employ in the way I should have. And that's what kept me, was a real barrier to entry for me, I think, in getting traction in my first time playing it way back when. But they essentially junk that to some degree for the DLC and do a completely different antithesis of like a core thing about the game. And like just the fact they had the balls to do it, and that is incredible. And then the execution of it is fucking flawless. So fucking good. But when I finished the game again, which even the way they do that is fucking crazy good. It's I don't even know how to explain it. But when I beat the game again after DLC, I fucking sat there and fucking cried harder. It's so fucking, dude, it is so fucking good. It is so fucking, oh my God, man. It's so fucking incredible. It's so fucking incredible. And like, yeah, dude, like I just like, it's just fucking beautiful, bro. It's fucking beautiful. It gives me hope for mankind, and that the creation of art can really affect others and accomplish something at an emotional level that makes the world better around it. And that it's fucking everything that the creation of anything should be, art or anything. It's fucking, I don't know, man. It's on a whole nother level. It's on a whole fucking other level. And like I said, dude, you go out and you Google these videos, you listen to these people talk about it. They spend, and I just rambled for fucking 10 minutes, right? Like, these motherfuckers spend an hour in a video and can't, they're just rambling emotional shit, that how it, like, they talk about personal stories about their moms dying and shit. Like, they just fucking lose it emotionally trying to, and a lot of them, you know, and I'm not saying I am, but a lot of them can't even, after an hour, explain it necessarily why it's so good or and they don't have like really a thesis to their statement. It's just they're so impacted by it that they need to say something. You know what I mean? It's fucking dude.
Wow.
Woo.
And you found it on Game Pass. That's great. You heard it here, folks.
I did find it on Game Pass. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should just take a moment for me to collect myself, Jay. I don't know. Should we move on?
I was going to say, I'm like, how do we talk about Captain Skyhawk after this? Like, how do we move on from this? Like, we should have booked it. We should have reversed the order today.
Right? Yeah. No. But I had a few other things too. I did pop into Trevor Saves the Universe to fully 100% that after we last recorded, and do the ICJ, the Important Cosmic Jobs DLC they put out. And so I got every single green power baby in the game. The DLC I wouldn't say is anything special, even to the point that they kind of self-deprecatingly admit within the narrative while you're playing the DLC that they point out it's free and not paid DLC, and you get what you pay for, which is kind of funny and kind of in the vein of the humor of the game and whatever. It's just like essentially a collectathon set in a space station office environment of the company that Trover, your little sidekick, had his shitty job in before joining your quest. So there's some good comedy bits in there, but I'm not, it was very much just like, well, I liked this game so much, I'm going to 100% it, even though this kind of sucks. Situation.
Fair enough.
Resolution Games dropped the Heroes Hangout for Demio, the themed social environment thing. Have you even seen this yet?
What?
Jay?
No, I have not.
Yeah, they dropped it's a basement. So like you can go within the menu of the game. Mm-hmm. There's a new tab on the left-hand side thing, and you can click on that, and it opens this real old school Yellow Pages phone book. And in the phone book are the different active rooms that have been created. They have a number and they tell you how many people are in there. So you can click on the room and you go into this. It takes you into this. It's like at the top of the steps of this basement going down. And it's a basement it's like, I don't know. It's something that would probably have been in like the basement of a popular comic shop or something in the 90s. It does have an attendant. Stuff can be bought here, but it's more just nerds hanging out. There's of course a centerpiece way to enter games of Demio, but it's, it's social. You can hear everyone. It does a pretty good job of like when you're nearby someone, they're louder and they get, so it does a good job of that, of spatial awareness, I guess. There's an arcade cabinet down there that's like a Gauntlet ripoff.
Really?
What the hell's it called? Yeah, what's it called?
But what is the purpose of this hangout space? To just get you to interact more, so you can,
right? Yeah,
like,
fine. I mean, they're like, I think the intent is to, as opposed to, because the primary, there's a there's a Discord that allows you to do this a little bit, but it's obviously a very different experience than
So this is supposed to be like a live interact. Come here and do your all right. I can see that
and figure out who you want to play with and start games, kind of thing.
Like we pulling together a rookie game, or we pulling together a high level run here.
Exactly. Yeah, and you can you see it's the avatars just like in the game. They now have a body that you can and there's dumb shit like there's a little closet where you can wear shirts, and they're all like, you can take shirts out and they all have like knockoff 80s, like a Karate Kid knockoff and like Ghostbusters knockoff and like all these little fun t-shirts and stuff, so you can maybe personalize yourself a little bit. There's the arcade cabinet. There's this little archery, the sucker arrow archery game you can play. They have a film projector on a table, and it's projecting the Discord onto the
Discord. That's
right. So you can see people talking in the Discord, which is, it's an interesting idea. I do wish it kind of, because it only plays the general thread of the Discord. So it'd be nice if there was some way to like change it to the finding a game and the different categories. So you could, especially the finding the game one, because that's the one I most want. It's the one I use at all. I don't really use any of the other ones. And that the purpose of this thing in particular is to, I think, get you into a game in some way, in a more whatever way. And like the find a game Discord would be one way you could look at that in the game and then either type into it in some way from there, or at least open your phone and type into it.
All right.
If someone's looking for a game there, you could be like, I'm in Hangout 4, come to Hangout 4, and we'll start the game. Like there should be a way for that, I think, to integrate. So, and like it's a cool idea, and I see why they did it and wanted to build that component of that game world,
Yeah.
But I think it ultimately, I don't think it. I think I can tell by the way. I don't feel like it's getting used all that much. Like it was, popular at first, but like you go in there, I go in there on a night now, and like there might be 1 or 2 rooms that have something going on it, and you go into it, and like there's fucking kids in there doing dumb shit, trying to shoot each other in the head with the fucking arrows and stuff, and like it's just not. It just it. That's probably the biggest detractor from it is that there's no way that you can start a private room, but then.
Like how many people do you know?
Yeah, you're not gonna meet anyone. So, I mean, if you had a group to invite, this would probably be awesome. This would be really cool. If you already had a nice big group of players, this would be fucking a really cool way to congregate virtually. No question about that at all.
It's almost it almost sounds like the beginnings of what could be like the guild system that's used in ESO. Or like, hey, we have our guild channel. Like whenever you're playing, just drop in the channel
For
number
sure.
45.
And I got a story about Walkabout. Yes, and if you can curate that. I got a story about Walkabout. We get to the end here that just happened to me, and like, it's fucking cool. So yeah, for sure. I think it'd be great for that. But the core purpose of it to develop those relationships, I don't think it's working because of, honestly, probably mostly because people are shitheads and they need to play Outer Wilds, so they're better people is what needs to happen actually.
Well, I will say I think that system. And the way ESO does guilds, like because the way I've experienced it, like really works. Like if that can be implemented in different ways in other games, like
is it a visual?
No. But I'm just saying, like it's easy because in that system you have each guild has like their own voice channels and own. But like even if you had the exact scenario you're talking about now, but the ability to say like, hey, these are going to be my channels, like this is my channel number. You know what I mean? Or have your own channel so that whenever all the people are online, like as you build people your network, like hey,
they can find
we're always going to be here,
and that's exactly Walkabout. It still could need some work and some development, but Walkabout has that with that private room name.
Oh, okay,
so like that name never goes away. Like you can use like that, like you as long as it's an obscure enough thing that people wouldn't just guess it, and I don't know who's in there just guessing names anyways.
Right.
But if they, whatever. So as long as it's a specific enough thing that someone would have to deliberately type it in to find it, you could easily do that and curate who has access to your room, even if it's not a private setting. And it's cool. But, you still have whatever.
But I think honestly that type of functionality is just going to be needed more and more in the future. As more people continue to play casual and open games and you're able to stream and do cloud, like you're going to just need those options to be able to, like, it's great to meet people, but I got to be able to privatize it. My own private, some games need private servers, other games just need a private room, you know what I mean? Just that though.
Agreed. So yeah, it's cool. And yeah, I see why they did it. I much rather would have had a new campaign
of course
than whatever development effort they put towards that. I much rather would have had a new campaign.
Oh man, I actually almost played that game last night. I was actually going to text you and like, let's play some Demio.
I almost texted you to play Walkabout too, because I have gotten hot and heavy back into Walkabout because of what I'll say later. But I almost messed you because I wrote you back. I noticed that you had messaged me a few times, and that social platform is horrific, dude. I had no idea that you sent me those messages.
Really?
Yeah, you get no notifications, and if you, it will. I think it will notify you, but like it doesn't. If you're not, I don't know, if you're not looking at the right place or something, you don't see what it is. You hear the noise, but you're not gonna stop playing and go, "Oh, what the fuck was that?" Because it sends you dumb notifications all the time. So I'm not gonna, if something updated or it like sends you, it makes the same notification sound for everything. So like I'm not. And not to mention, if you're engrossed in a game, that just flies by. You don't even think about it when you hear that noise. So, it's fucking sucks. So I didn't even know you sent those messages, which is awful. They need to fix that too, because I didn't even know that you were fucking pinging me in it, which is terrible.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, we ended up playing, we ended up having s'mores outside since it was nice outside yesterday. So it worked out.
Sounds nice.
But...
Also sounds nice.
Yeah.
I did max out the cosmetic leveling system again, level 60.
Oh my gosh!
So,
I'm like a rookie now compared to you.
Yeah, I I got the all skeleton shit. I got the fire die. Like it's fucking like every now and again I'll get into a game and it's newer players and they like you go in and they haven't even seen that shit and they're just like the one guy was playing. Like, I think the last game I played I haven't played much this week, but the last game I played there was one dude in there like he would not shut the fuck up about the die and the skeleton face. Like, these are so fucking cool. I was like, well, if you waste hundreds of hours of your life, you too can have these meaningless cosmetic fucking upgrades. But they're cool for sure.
Give me the loot boxes.
Give me the loot. Yeah,
give me the power babies.
The fucking I'll put the power babies in my veins. Yeah, it sucks that it caps too. That they need to, they did. I already explained before. We're not gonna go into that, but like, it is something that they need to keep that going because it does incentivize you to play it. Like I think that's maybe part of why I've been slightly like when I was at like 58, like I would think to myself like, I need to get some fucking experience. I need to get in there. And like it changed the way you play too because when you max out your experience. It has the thing where you can leave. It's not a thing. It's like it's kind of a glitch, but they haven't fixed it, so I think they're just kind of accepting of it. I don't know, but like you go into the store in levels 1 and 2, or after levels 1 and 2, and you can if there's potions like the adamant potion, anything, any card actually, but potions are usually what you would do this for, or the strength or swiftness potions. You can buy one. Leave the game, and as long as everyone else doesn't hit their ready thing and they stay not ready, you can come back into the room with the room code, and the store is repopulated. And you have, you do lose, it takes the money that you spent on that potion last time. So it's not like you have unlimited dough and keep getting them, but the store replenishes and you can buy another swiftness potion. So if you have the dough, you can just load up on strength and swiftness potions or adamant potions or whatever the hell it is. But when you do that, when you leave the game and come back in the store or at any point in the game, when you do it, like it happens all the time in the bosses too. People die and have to come back with the room code because they run out of revivals. When you do that, though, you lose the experience that you accumulated. So the experience that you accumulated in levels 1 and 2 go away. So that
is a trade-off.
De-incentivizes you to do that shit when you're trying to get experience. But if you're maxed, who cares? So fucking, I'll buy fucking 50 potions. There's literally no penalty for doing it. So that's one reason to keep it going and still be able to accumulate experience.
Nice.
So that happened. I downloaded this survival game it's from a Swedish studio called Fast Travel Games, which is a cool studio name, I think. I like that name. And the game is called Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife. Have you ever heard of this?
Not at all. Is this VR?
It's a survival horror game. Yeah, it's VR. It is terrifying, dude. It is absolutely fucking terrifying. It's one of those games where you have no offensive capabilities, Like, you're just at the mercy of whatever the fuck this horrible environment wants to impose on you, and you're just running and trying to survive, Yeah. And yeah, dude, I think I talked about this a long time ago for Subnautica. Like, that's why Subnautica works for me as a horror game, because you can go into your base and fucking breathe. You know what I mean? These games without that safe zone are too much. It's literally too much for me. I can't. It's like I need to be able to fucking decompress for a second and then go back into the shit. Like I cannot just at all times be under
just be heightened.
Yeah, I can't do it. It is emotionally draining. I cannot fucking do it. So yeah, I've struggled a bit with it, but it is good. It's just that style of gameplay really taxes me, you in this the narrative, you're an LA photographer and his assistant, who I'm not even sure enough far into the game, might be his girlfriend, I'm not sure, and he was hired by an old accomplished Hollywood producer who believes he has some kind of entity haunting him in his mansion, and has also hired, he's an old dude, and he has hired some seance conductor to come work her magic and try to get rid of the entity in his house, and you're tasked with photographing the seance for some dumbass reason. Doesn't really explain why that's the case. But everybody, of course, died during this seance thing, and now you and other things are wandering the mansion in the afterlife and kind of just need to figure out how to proceed in wherever, either in whatever. I don't know. It doesn't really explain it, So like you just need to figure out what's next now that you're in dead and in this fucking stuck in the space. And yeah, it's fucking played for like 20 minutes and like just like gotta take a nap. Like it's a fucking lot. So yeah, I've not got into it, and like every time I think about playing, and I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna play Walkabout instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to literally schedule in my calendar, I think, to play it. That way, like my schedule's built around it, and like I know it's happening, and like I can prep myself for hours in advance and get in there and then put in whatever the time I have slotted for it in, and then turn it off and move on with life. Like I think
that sounds like too much work, man. I'm like,
I agree. I agree. But I did buy it, and it is good, and like there's been other games where the same things happen. There was the one on, I think it was all the way back on PS4 that I bought that game. That was the same kind of thing. And I forget what they're called, but they're hugely popular. It was a great game, but it was the same thing. Just nonstop terror and fleeing and no ability to fight back at all, you know? And yeah, it's just, I just stopped playing it because I just couldn't fucking do it, you know? And like, obviously think about, you know, of course it's worse in VR.
Yeah. Oh
like way worse. Way fucking worse. Yeah. Rough, man. Rough. Okay, so the last thing is my Walkabout mini golf news, and you know I kind of had somewhat fallen off, and like even to the point where like when I started firing it back up again at the beginning of the week, like I was like a little bit rusty, and like you get pissed off, and like you know because the fucking just not as good as I was, you know, just because like it's so the physics are so good that it requires you have to maintain practice and keep your shit up,
keeping up with it. What do you know?
Right, yeah, to maintain your level of play, but I got invited to the big boy table, bro. I'm turning pro.
What? Explain. What do you mean?
So I got into a random quick match with an older dude who he was really fucking good, and I don't know, just we just like sometimes I mentioned it before. Sometimes you get into those quick matches with randoms, and sometimes you just hit it off conversation wise.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of people don't even talk, but like the ones who do, you hit off with some of them, and it's just kind of good conversation. And we're bullshitting, and we like ended up battling through like 3 or 4 matches, like really good games, and just bullshitting the whole time. And it was pretty cool. And when he finished, like at the end, he's like right when we were about to go, he's like, "Oh wait," he's like, "You didn't," and like he like, "Wait a second," he's like, "You didn't leave yet, did you?" I was like, "No, I'm still here. What's up?" And he's like, I run this room. It's his name, his handle. He's like, it's under that handle. He's like, stop it and check it out. You know, it's pretty cool. He's like, if it fills out, it's just that +1, like the number 1 at the end. You know, it does fill up. You know, it's a decent little, I don't know, membership or whatever, people that play pretty regularly. So he's like, it can fill up sometimes. So sometimes it spills over into a second room. He's like, but they're good games, and you know, it's cool to stop in some time. And it's kind of like, you know, whatever. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like earlier, a few days ago, I had a fucking dude. I get into the game. He's like, just jokingly, like he's like, want to play for money? I'm like, never done that. I was like, yeah, fuck, sure, I'll play. I'll play for fucking money. You know, he's like, yeah, just $10 with Venmo. He's like, yeah, I've kind of started doing it. And he's like, it's just, I don't know, it just gives a little more flair, you know, to play. And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm good enough at it, you know. And like $10, who cares? Like, yeah, you just Venmo, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'd say, you know, I don't know. It's like maybe 3 out of 4 people actually pay, you know, if it comes. I was like, well, 75% on the internet. I was like, that's a pretty good ratio. That's about more than I expect. So I was like,
right.
That's not too bad, actually. So, but yeah, whatever. So we play. And like, I started off really poorly. So it got kind of into a hole, you know, and then some. I mean, we're only, you know, with those quick matches, it's only 9 holes. So super short games. But I got into a hole in the first few, and he had a bad run towards the end, and I ended up beating him. And like we talked the whole time, and like we had the whole conversation about bailing and like, you know, whatever, and like super cool dude, really fucking good conversation. And I went up by like 2 strokes at the end and on the last hole, and that motherfucker just dropped. He just left the game before even finishing and didn't pay. I couldn't fucking believe it. So whatever. So my point being, like, you know, you could even hit it off with someone, and
they still just, yeah,
they're still like either full of shit or just, you know, who cares? Whatever. People just, whatever. It's on the internet. It's anonymous. People don't really mean what they say a lot of the time, whatever. So I kind of just, sure, dude, okay, room, cool, whatever. And then I was playing like a few nights ago, and it popped into my head. I was like, I'll stop in and check that dude's room out, see if he's in there. So, bro, it is like the elite of elite players. The guy that invited me wasn't even there when I popped in, and these dudes are all fucking wizards, man. I played like 2 games, and I learned so much shit. It was insane. It is, dude, unreal. And they're all cool as shit. They're no dickheads. They all know each other. Like, they're supportive as fuck. they're like super supportive. It was fucking awesome, man. Yeah, I genuinely felt like I was in some cool ass Burger King Kids Club shit while I was playing. It was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. Like, now I'm like, the past few nights, like, I am obsessively checking the room every time I fire it up, you know? So, like, you know, I'll go in and, like, I'll check the room. Like, okay, no one's there. Cool. And do a quick match with some fucking random, have whatever experience. And then before going into another quick match, I go back and check the room, you know, to see if anyone's in there. It was such a good experience. It was so fucking cool. So you were talking about that with the fucking, with the
guilds and stuff.
The guild thing. Yeah, man. Like, when you get into a club like that and it's fucking cool and the experience is good, like, that's all I want to do. And like I said, they're so fucking good. And I fucking beat them the first fucking, and like, we're playing, I jumped into the middle of a game. It was Shangri-La. They're playing the hard version of Shangri-La. I jump in on like hole 17 or 16 or something. So play a couple holes, and we finish. We go back to the lobby. They're like, all right, what do you want to play? I'm like, well, the new guy likes anything but the space station. They're like, all right, cool. We'll just do random. And we get the space station. So, so I'm like, motherfucker, whatever. And then I proceed to win against these 3 other fucking elite dudes. And it was a really cool experience. It was fucking fun. So much fucking fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. So, really cool.
Very cool, man. That's exactly how I felt about being in the guilds. Like, I would always just nightly I'm just jumping on chat. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do in the game, but I'm gonna get in chat and just see what's going on. You know what I mean? Because these people are cool and playing with them is fun. So.
Yep, exactly. Okay, well, let's talk about Captain Skyhawk for the NES.